So there are lots of resilience assessment or questions you can ask yourself. What I'm gonna do is to share this as a tool to use for yourself. I will share it here, or I will ask you to send me a request, then I will forward it to you via email, so that when on your own time, do ask yourself these questions. When given a new task, do I feel confident at the beginning, or do I doubt myself? How do I react to things? So you see, this kind of questions will broaden your understanding of self. We are still on know thyself. It will help you even open up other things that you never got to think about and start actually working from a point of knowledge. So I encourage you all, when you receive this, have a me time. And this is a building resilient, a mental resilient time. You can call it that, because if we don't spend time with ourselves, how will we know thyself? So we will do this in your own spare time. So connecting with your meaning is also very key. Many of us here are serving in our purpose. We are called and are taking a calling in our lives. Either we are impacting lives through our missions, through our orphanage work, whatever it is that you are currently doing. I'm not going to take the emails now. I'm going to share it with you. There's a link I will share with you that you will send me the email so that it's consolidated. I work smart. Sometimes having one by one, it's too much admin for me. So I will give you a link, and that you love doing, which that's where we talk about your passion. What are you passionate about? And what does the world need? And which means your mission. What is your mission in life that you are existing and delivering to the world? And what are you good at? Now we are talking about your profession. Have you asked yourself these questions? And lastly, your vocation. What can I do, or what can I be paid for while I'm doing, without feeling like it's a job? The other day I was giving a talk to the students, and I was asking them to do their SWOT analysis. And in that, it just to look at what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are my opportunities that can be explored through the strengths that I have. And if I work on my weaknesses, what are the opportunities? And what are the threats that poses when I do not do the work in me? What kind of threats are there if I do not do this? So once you can explore yourself and look at your SWOT analysis, you'll be able to really connect with what the meaning in life and be able to answer these questions with ease. And that's why I think Simon Sinek talks about your why. What is the driving? So what is that thing that gives you purpose, that gives you meaning? As for me, as Puseletso, what gives me meaning in life is to see people's lives change through them raising their self-awareness and being able to stand out of their own way. For me, it gives me fulfillment, and it's seeing that a person didn't realize that they have a potential and growing to become somebody who they even love to be with, who they love and confidently believe that they are good at something. Because we hide behind facades, we hide behind the impression that we give to others, but deep down inside us, we work with self-doubt, we have imposter syndrome, we have all these negative emotions that are becoming hindrances in our growth. So a support system is very key, and many of us, we have realized that we don't always have a good support system. It's one of the crucial things, especially when you're building business. Entrepreneurship is a very lonely journey. Without support, you will think you are alone and you're going through the most alone. Meantime, there are many of us who are going through similar things. It's just that we need to also be able to open up and be vulnerable enough to say, I need help. So some of us portray an image of I'm okay, I can cope, I'm doing well. meantime you need help. So support system, the right support system is very key. But do not seek support if you are also not being able to give support. But what I mean is you can't have what you don't give, because many people are always looking for things for themselves. But when it comes to them being able to give it to others, they fail. So let us be the support we are looking for to others as well. These are the questions you can also ask yourself during that me time that you're going to have, to say, what is my support system like? For example, do I tell my partner, my best friend about things that I'm going through? And you go and explore that. And if you don't have answers, look for things that you can build your own support system. In business, we talk about building advisory board. And for every entrepreneur, my encouragement is to build your own advisory board. I go for people who I look up to, and somehow I would even pay for their time just to have an hour around them, have them in a room with me where I buy lunch, but the aim and the intention is for me to tap into their knowledge. That's another way of a support system. And lastly, you can ask yourself, how do I improve this support system? Because you realize that what you're going through and system around you. Nobody will do it for you, but you know yourself and you know what you are going through. And our remember, it all starts in the mind, and a positive mental attitude through tough times. And the concept of positive mental attitude states that being optimistic in all aspects of what creates positive developments and increases achievement. So the question you are asking yourself is, what is your positive mental attitude? For example, do you let go of resentment, or do you hold on to it? Do you harbor anger for long, or do you release? So those are the type of questions you should ask yourself. And the second thing is, how would you improve your positive mental attitude? For example, are you a person who's always feeling guilty about certain things? Do you blame yourself, or do you always concentrate what is not going on, or what you have learned or have not learned? So these are some examples. And when I give you this, I've created also space for you to always play around and complete it and make it your personal handbook. These questions. So in your resilience note, what I want to ask you is, what are you taking out of today's session that you're committing yourself to go and work on based on what has been deposited in your spirit right now? And some of the tips I want to give you is to say, know your own strength and to make use of them. And the last but not favorite way to relax your mind. You have been told that I've been in the health space. So for me, wellness comes first. Self-love, mindfulness, and self-care. It's very important, because at the time where we realize that we are at the brink of losing it and we can't cope with, we are not coping, that's the time we need to actually deposit, take time away, go and replenish, because we matter. You are the best asset of your own business. And if you do not take care of self, you are affecting your business. And on that note, I want to say, should you find what I've shared with you valuable and you need support, structural support system, I do that a lot of coaching for entrepreneurs. That's my business. My company is called Mind Retirement Institute. I've created communities around digital platforms where we talk about various things that help build your mental strength. And some of the things we're looking at is things like resilience, things like emotional awareness, things like building the inner you. So we look at a lot of things. So my coaching, it's at a price. It's the seat that you put in. Normally, when you come for An hour session, it would normally cost you 1.6. And if you do not want just once off, because once off for me, it just open up, but it never helps you with the tools of how do I continue and become not reliant on a coach moving forward, because I work a lot with people whom I would like to help them build their own ability to self-help. So the tools that I have will assist you with that. Here, I showed you that I was busy with the second book, which is what I've just completed. It's called The Mind of Time and Self-Actualization. So these are some of the tools that have helped many people and the corporate companies that I am working with. So the special price for 6 sessions, if you take it as a package, becomes 800 Rand a session instead of 1,600. So that's basically to bring it to you to look into, should you be looking for someone to assist you, especially in your personal development. And the last quote I want to close off with is, believing that the road to success will be routine leads to a greater success because it forces you to take action. On that note, thank you so much, ladies, for taking time to be with me and for inviting me over. I hope that I have retired your mind this morning. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Puseletso. What a wonderful session. I'm sure we've all learned so much, and we've also reflected on ourselves and our strengths in resilience. I just want to thank you for the time and also for giving us a brief coaching session, which was not just enjoyable, but also it is something that we can go and do some homework on. So I really have enjoyed this session, and I'm sure everyone else